Hi Capricorn. Welcome to the Existential Shift with your monthly Taroscope for the month of September. Damn, time flies. August 18th. 81818. August 18th, 2018. You are very much so adequate for the number 8. Number 8 comes with strong karma, strong physical existence, work, relentless work, manifesting the best and manifesting the worst, dark infinity, light infinity. I didn't plan it. I just now said Capricorn. Oh, of course I have the Magician. The manifester. So 18, 1-8 is 9. 9 is definitely a number of manifestation. It's the universal number it's the number of the universal spirit. It's the everything and the nothing. Every number, when you add 1 through 8, 1 plus 2 it sums up to 9. Every number that you add to 9 sums up to 9. So it's everything, but it's also nothing because allegedly it doesn't have an effect on the physical world. The physical world is allegedly affected by 8, but the 9 is the result of all this physical world effects. That makes sense? The Magician, manifesting your life through work, through physical mundane existence and actions. Because you're Earth, Capricorn, right? You're the core of the Earth. When the first card that falls down in an intuitive reading, this is pretty powerful because this basically says, who cares about what Morgane is about to say? It's up to you. I can give you guidance, advice, let you know what type of energies are around to use. But you grab the tools and make the plan and make it happen. Build it. Build it and they will come. Whatever it is that you want to do, whoever you want to be, you can. Not if you just sit back and let it happen, because the Magician is a calling for action. It means you have all the abilities, all the energy, all the knowledge, but you have to do something about it in order to make this from a major arcana to a minor arcana, meaning bringing this from the idea, from the spiritual world, from the energetic world, to the earthly world. The Magician is also master of illusions and a master of words. He can make a promise without making a promise. You can lie without lying, tell the truth without telling the truth. Some will call it a piece of shit, some will call it an artist. 2 cards fell down. 6 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. So you manifested a vision, an idea, a want, a will in the Magician, and you moved towards it. You had to make a transition from one existence to the other and then work on it. And here you are working on it, cooperating. Almost like, now see, I have 3 characters here, 3 characters here, right? Here, they're moving away from something. Leaving. Exiling. Running. Just simply moving. And here they found a new earth, right? They sailed upon the waters and they got drifted to an island. Pentacles, earth. It's very earthly, mundane, practical existence. And now these characters are now building anew. Really building a vision. Did you have an idea? Did you have a dream? And you took people with you. because the magician is an influencer. People follow him. People follow her. Next 3 cards. The Sun, the Hanged Man, and the 4 of Swords. So those foundations that you build or are building or really about to build during September, it's going to really succeed. It's going to be everything you wanted. It's going to make you happy. Yay. But here comes the Hanged Man with the 4 of Swords. And there's an element of a need to either sacrifice and or wait. Some of you are working on something and boom, you're with child. You're pregnant, you didn't see that happen, so you need to put things on hold. Some of you has to do with children, you know, that you have to sacrifice for or do things differently for them, because of them. And some of you are gaining awareness and a different point of view on what it is that you thought you always wanted. Because, you know, when you get what you want and you live it, and cognitively you're like, well, I'm supposed to be happy. But then what if you're not? Be careful what you wish for, kind of thing. Not that it's a bad thing, but maybe what felt joyous in theory isn't so in practicality. Maybe there we go, the moon, from the sun to the moon, from complete awareness and joy to confusion, to fog. Something snapped, flipped, changed your perspective. And now things are not as clear as you thought they were. Or maybe throughout September you will feel this way. This is why I always recommend, my dear seekers, to go back to your current month's reading. So if this reading is for September, go back to your August reading. So now you can make the connections, right? And later on in September, go back to this reading. So in case you don't relate now, bottom of the deck, 9 of Swords. Yeah. So in case you don't relate right now, then maybe you can make the connection as, you know, further along. Okay, whatever it is that you have embarked on, worked for, are working for, that is something that you've created and manifested, that's supposed to make you happy, and now or soon the perspective is about to change and maybe you'll feel a bit differently. When I have the sun and the moon together in a reading, let's see this. When I have the sun and the moon together in the reading, this is the conscious and the subconscious. This is the masculine, and this is the feminine. The sun and the moon, the 2 strongest, biggest elements of nature, forces of nature that we can relate to, that are close to our earth. And that when they come up together in a reading, that shows a time of a lot of mental confusion, a lot of emotional confusion. Because think about it like the wall, the barrier between your conscious and your subconscious somehow melted, broke down, disappeared. And now everything is kind of melting into each other, where you're not sure what is illusion and what is reality, what is a dream and what is true, what is in your brain and what is outside of your brain, what do you feel versus what do you think you feel or think you're supposed to feel. And when the subconscious emerges above the surface and kind of goes into the conscious, right? When the fog goes to the clarity, or when the clarity breaks through the fog, that's a sort of a tower moment. Now, it's not as shaking as the tower. It's not hurtful in reality-wise. It's not like a disaster, God forbid, or anything like that. It's a consciousness thing. You begin to question if you even really know yourself. If you really know what it is that you want. Is this the career path that I want to do? Is this the person that I want to be with? Is this the person that I am? Are those the reactions that I want to have? Are those the habits that serve me best? Is this the kind of guy or girl that I want to be? I thought I did, but now that I'm at that place that I wanted, or I'm with that person that I wanted, or I am doing the job that I wanted, etc. Now that I have it and it's no longer a dream, and I get to look at it from the perspective of from the inside, yeah, you see things differently. And it's confusing. Even more so confusing because it's supposed to be what you always wanted. So why aren't you satisfied? Right? This is very much so an existential shift, because a big part of the journey of the spiritual warrior is learning how to manifest, right? Owning to their powers and learning how to work with them and actually achieve results, taking the leap of faith, a chance, going towards it, building, achieving, succeeding. But oh, okay, lesson is learned, mission accomplished. Now what? I've learned this. Now what else do I have to learn? I didn't even feel or think that I have anything else to learn. This was the top of my ambitions. Well, why am I confused? And that's a place where most spiritual warriors, shamans, true seekers and walkers of the path of enlightenment, energy work, so on, where we most tumble and fall and pain. When we realize that everything we always wanted, when we realize that all the power that we gained is nothing. Because the heart still yearns. The heart is not in tune with what you say to yourself that you have. It's like, sorry, not feeling it. And you're like, well, why did I do all this for? Is this punishment? No. It's to humble you. Those who achieve most power end up not ever using it because they realize it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. If you succeed or if you fail, if you're happy or if you're sad, if you're single or if you're married, it's all the same. It's all one big experience of the soul in this physical realm. And that realization is intense to handle. Because then you're like, okay, so what now? If nothing matters, okay, so what do I do? It doesn't matter. Whatever you want, whatever you feel like. And if that changes once you do something else, then you go and change and do something else again and again and again until you're done with this physical experience in this lifetime. I know it's a bit all over the place. Well, it's actually not. People who understand what I'm talking about will really relate to what I'm saying. But if this sounds a little bit foggy to you and you want something more mundane reading, don't worry about it. First, I'm not done. I have more cards to take out. Second of all, I also have an extended reading. Link is below the video in the information box. Over there, after I'll clarify numerologically and energetically the cards that I have here. I will also do a Celtic cross reading. Those tend to bring different narratives or more mundane narratives, something different than the reading that we had here, or a different perspective. So you'll get your meal over there. Okay, I have to say what the cards show me, right? Oh, great. Speaking of mundane, Knight of Pentacles. From all of this, a new type of awareness comes along. A practical one, yes. Spirituality can be damn practical because everything starts with the earth. Every building begins with the ground floor. Every high ideals begin with basic morals, right? So, from all this, we have the Knight of Pentacles. An opportunity for something very, very clear, slightly different than what you've been working on. Someone may be offering you a type of partnership, or offers to work together or invest in something. Maybe something that in the past wasn't as fruitful or as productive, but now it comes with a different type of perspective, and it allows you to, I don't know, act a bit differently with someone else on it. And do you take it? Do you want it? I don't think you're no, Capricorn. I think you're a little bit timid from this. Something great that has happened, and then it made you a little bit uncertain or unsure that it's exactly what you wanted. So you say to yourself, well, what's the difference now? I'll work on it, I'll achieve something, and then what? I'll feel the same? Maybe. Part of it. Yeah. It's okay. And some of you are having challenges with having a baby. Of course, this is not for all of you. Those of you who resonate with this, no. So those of you who resonate with trying to have a baby and it's not working out, you're not getting pregnant, or your partner is not getting pregnant, this is psychological. Not necessarily, again, it's general reading, guys. And I'm not a doctor. But from this combination of cards, it's not necessarily a physical thing, although you will go to see a doctor. For those of you who resonate with it, you will go to see a doctor, get an advice, try something to help you out. But the solution comes from the mind, from the psychology, from the heart. Maybe you are not entirely sure that you're in love with your partner, and something in you is blocking it. Yes, the will, the subconscious will, I'm not talking about the conscious will, the subconscious will is extremely powerful. And even if you say to yourself that you want to have a kid, if you're not sure that you want to have a kid with this specific individual, then your soul will block it. Okay, and it will affect the body. Or something very deep from childhood, a fear of, maybe your parents, something that the way they were with you as a kid, and you're afraid to bring it, to have it, forwarded to your child because it's something negative, could be either physical or emotional. So you're blocking it psychologically. So figure out the reason why you might be psychologically or spiritually, energetically holding off from getting pregnant. Yeah, a choice needs to be made. If something isn't working out or isn't happening, even though on the surface everything seems to be fine, say you go to a doctor and they tell you everything's fine. Or it could be something else. It doesn't have to be pregnancy. It could be work. It can be a project. If things are not working out, even though on the surface they should be, ask yourself, is this the right place for me to be still? It was for the duration of time that you were supposed to be there. You manifested something. You succeeded. Great. But now what? The Lover is about making choices. The Lover is about choosing a path and walking it with intensity and clearing out everything that doesn't serve that path. Making room. Clearing out the rocks from the pavement. And yeah, it requires sacrifice. Sacrificing things that used to be amazing for you. So you're still holding on to them because, well, it used to be amazing. But things change, Capricorn. Awareness change. Perspective change. The will changes. And here you are facing with a new episode in your life. And yeah, you need to clear room for it. And I feel like it will be, it will reach its climax around October. A lot of people are going to reach a certain climax around September, October, and results will be seen in October. Say, pure understandings will be in September, and then what to do, how to do, and in October, okay. But again, general readings, right? You're more than welcome to email me for a private session. My email is in the information box, okay? My name is Morgane, by the way, in case I didn't say it. Ugh, too many. I saw the World and the Wheel of Fortune, but okay. Let's take out one more card and then keep talking. Capricorn, September. Capricorn for September. Okay. Nine of Swords in the reverse, right underneath the Four of Swords. Yeah, thinking is enough. Thinking about it more, analyzing it more, will not give you any conclusions. The mind is not going to serve you on this one. I'm sorry, Capricorn. I know you want to. You want to make a clear-cut decision that comes from awareness and knowledge, and that makes sense. But it's not going to work on this one. You have to listen to your heart and to your subconscious. Even though it looks weird or different and makes allegedly no sense. Staying in that position of thinking about it, analyzing it, chewing it is only going to give you grief. And a choice has to be made and a sacrifice has to be made. I have on the table strong water sign. Could be Pisces. I have Gemini. I have Leo. I have you guys. I totally see the Magician as Capricorn. I have Libra. This could be someone with Pisces Sun and Libra Moon, or Gemini Moon, like an air sign Moon and a water sign Sun. Again, not necessarily. It could just be the vibe. Something is missing. I feel like there's something else I need to say before I move on to your so this is what we're going to do to finalize. I'm going to have a message from the Divine Circus Oracle by Alana Fairchild, which are awesome. But before that, I'm going to show you your extended. Sorry. But before that, yep, there it is. Okay. Tower, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups. I'm sorry, Eight of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Too much. At one point, you won't be able to escape it, Capricorn. You're going to have to be really sharp and cut the BS. Forgive my language. Something that you've worked very, very hard on manifesting and building could potentially not be the thing that you want anymore. And you're going to have a very sharp realization, and you will act upon it. Once you do, and once you leave it behind, whatever it is, could be a job, could be a relationship, could be a sense of self, who you are, right? What you do. How do you present yourself? And once you, Eight of Cups, let that go and move on, you will find a new sense of self that is much more resonating with who you are. Much more you. Much more your element. And look at this here. Remember, I had the Knight of Pentacles here. In order to make the Knight of Pentacles into the Ace of Pentacles, aka fulfill the promise of the opportunity of this presented here, you must act sharp and accurate and clear and leave something behind. Now, I don't have the Death card, so I don't think it's like a new world order. I think you've already went through that. I think it's something specific in your life that you worked hard to manifest, you have achieved it, and now you changed perspective, and now you might have to or might want to move on to something else. But once you'll cut through the confusion, the overthinking, the analysis paralysis, the grieving over whatever it is that you're like, what am I, an idiot? I need to be enjoying this now. You will have the Ace of Pentacles. You will find your element. Because I don't think you've been in your element so far. And the reason why you succeeded so much in an element that isn't your element is because you're a manifester and a magician and very capable, and you know how to work with all the energies and all the elements. But knowing and being able to do something doesn't necessarily mean you'll be happy once you'll achieve it. Many talented people all over the world can do more than one thing. But that doesn't mean you enjoy everything that you know how to do. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because a relationship on the paper seems perfect doesn't mean that you have to be in it. There's no right and wrong. The Hangman, different perspective, the moon, you know, the depths of our consciousness that is foggy and watery and doesn't necessarily make sense, you know. But it does actually make sense. Because you need to be in your element. Because when a fish is in the water, he's happy. If he's a super fish and can be outside of the water and live outside of the water and hang out on Earth, great, talented, capable, woohoo, but, you know, it's not happy. Will always long for the sea. The bird will always long for the sky. Yeah. Cereals will always long for the veggie milk. Non-dairy milk. Sorry, I'm an idiot sometimes. Okay, that's what I needed to say. Now, let's arrange your extended. Okay? First of all, obviously, we have two aces here. They'll work perfectly with the magician, who's also number 1. And we have 2 3s. That will work beautifully. The Hangman is 12. And 3 is, well, 3 and 3. Now we still have these majors. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. I'll explain what I'm doing soon in case you're only now joining me for the first time and you're not familiar with me. What I do in the extended, I rearrange the cards on the table and I give another narrative, and I use the numerological aspect and the energetic aspect. No, we don't need these. We don't need these. Ok. Un momento, por favore. Now here's what I really want to do. Really want to do. There we go. Yep. All right. Okay. This is your extended. 2 3s, 3 1s. All these major arcanas. Very spiritual. All right. You got this? Snapshot? Okay. So once you go to your extended, you'll have this reading that I will do. Then I'll clean the table. I will reshuffle the cards. I will give you a Celtic cross reading, which could potentially be, depending on the cards, I don't know, could potentially be a completely different narrative or an extension of similar narratives from here, or clarification. They tend to be more mundane in the Celtic cross readings, the cards, but I don't want to say for sure because, again, depending on what the cards show. It's a very ancient Celtic cross reading, 10 cards on the table, super awesome. And then I will finish up with messages from the runes, Celtic runes. Okay, so happy stuff on the existential shift. We have tarot, we have oracles, we have intuitive reading, we have a Celtic reading, we have numerology, we have energy work. I like to take care of my seekers, huh? Okay, so a message for my intense, talented Capricorns. Lovely seekers, watchers. This is Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, by the way, cross watchers. It's energy, you know, whatever resonates with you. If you like the headline or it resonates with you, then this reading speaks to you, then it's yours. Okay, a message, please, for Capricorn seekers. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for subscribing, liking, commenting. Every time you subscribe, that way you know when your next video next month comes up. And also it's a great way to support my journey. So I super appreciate that. And I read all your comments, just so you know. And yeah, as I was saying, link to the extended is below, and also links to my social media if you want to follow me, The Existential Shift. Also, everything is over there. Press the little button that says read more, and then you'll read it all. Okay. Come on, oracles. I'm just talking as long as nothing falls. Message for my Capricorns for the month of September. Right. Ooh, I don't think I ever had that one. Supernova, and of course it's number 8. These cards are so gorgeous. Okay. Story time. Supernova. Great. So, something in you needs to be unleashed. This is not quiet and steady growth, but more like a wild explosion of creative energy and sacred fire. The sparks your rapid growth will create shall ignite your body, mind, and soul, inspiring you to expand even beyond what you believe is possible. Your light will shine far and wide. You cannot control it, but you can trust it. A rocket is capable of traveling far and with great power and speed, before settling into effortless orbit far beyond the world in which it began its journey. To launch, however, requires power. A quiet and contained power is not appropriate for the task. A raw and explosive force is needed to propel the rocket from the known world of Earth towards its destined orbit in space. The Oracle of Supernova indicates a time of rapid growth, so accelerated and powerful that it can feel like an explosion, as if you were the rocket being launched into space. It tends to be of high intensity, but short duration. Whilst this is a positive thing, it can cause shockwaves and disrupting patterns and create feelings of instability and even uncertainty, as your world starts to change in ways you don't feel are within your personal control. You may feel like there's a powerful momentum moving you out of what your life has been towards some new, unknown destiny. As it moves from the dramatic force of the launch towards the eventual peace of an effortless orbit, the rocket will jettison the very thing needed to get the journey started. This isn't about disposing of the essentials, the people and things that really mean something to your heart, but rather about letting go of old attitudes, ideas, ways of being, and attachments to allow for utter freedom to ascend. This really resonates with the reading. After the intensity of the birth, the effortless of your orbit into a new world will require a different attitude. What you needed to begin your journey, to start a new venture or lifestyle, will be different to what is required to continue on your life journey. You need to trust in what is happening at all points on your journey. Don't hold on to a support system, belief system, or way of being out of fear. Sometimes it's just time to let it go because it's not relevant for your journey anymore. If you try to hold on, you will actually just be holding yourself back. When the time comes to let go, you'll feel it. People or situations will not be able to reach you or you them, even if you are making an effort to try and stay connected. Previous support system and connections won't be able to support you anymore on the next steps of your journey. It's like they are training wheels that are no longer needed. They would just get in the way. So you have gratitude for what was, and with love, you let it go. The Oracle of Supernova reminds us that after the intensity of the birth, there is another birth of sorts. The settling into a new pattern of life at a higher altitude, with more peace, effortlessness, and consciousness. Each phase happens naturally, and you'll feel when and how to respond to each phase in your life as you trust yourself. Now, affirmation. Love erupts through me in an explosive wave of sound and light. Peace is created as the way is cleared for my true and immediate success. Nice, Capricorn. All right, so let's move straight into your extended reading. Link below. I will see you in a sec. Regardless, I will also see you in October. And don't forget to subscribe. I love y'all very much. Why am I talking like this? Sorry. Yeah, okay. See you soon in the extended. Love.